我们首先敬礼传承祖师。
First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus.
了明和尚。
Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao
敬
Ming.
礼萨迦正空上师。
Homage to Master Sakya Zengkong.
敬礼16世大宝法王卡玛巴。
Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubdan Dorji.
敬礼坛城三宝。
Homage to the three jewels of the altar.
今天附魔的主尊，不空坚守观音。
And homage to the main deity of Homa today, Amogapasa Guan Yin.
图登悉地仁波切。
师母 Tutan Siddhi
各位上
Rinpoche,
师、教授师、法师、
all Dhamma educators,
讲师、
Dhamma
助
teachers,
教、
Dhamma
堂主
lecturers, Dhamma
以及
assistants,
各位同门，
directors of
还有网
temples and
络上的同
chapters,
门，
and all disciples
我们
present
今
here
天
and over
与
the
会的贵宾
webcast.
是中华民国驻瑞典兼挪威
Our VIPs
代
today
表
are
廖东洲大使夫
Madam
人，
to the Ambassador Daniel Liao, the Taipei rep to Sweden and Norway, Dhamma Sister Judy,
台湾省政府秘书长
the
郑
Chief
培
Secretary
先
to
生
the
及夫
Taiwan
人
government,
韩务珍女士，
Mr. Zheng Peifu and Mrs. and Madam,
中央研究院院士朱时仪教授
Academian
及夫
to
人
the Academia
陈文
Sinica,
文
Professor Zhu Siyi and Madam,
生活中法律顾问周慧芳律师，
Law Advisor
卢
to
文
Jupiter
祥
School,
律师，
Dhamma Sister Jennifer Zhou and Mr. Lu Wenxiang,
中山医学大学附设
and from Zhongshan Medical College Affiliated Plastic Surgery
郑
Department,
生龙博
the
士，
head of the department, Dr. Zheng Senlong,
生活中博士教授团
Jupiter
及
School
医务
Scholars
团
Group and
全体
Medical
成
Group.
员。敬以企业公司总经理张怡珍女士，
And the General Manager of Jingyi Enterprise, Ms. Zhang Yizhen,
台南市议会
and the rep to the Council of Tainan City,
木雕艺术家简正
and a
信
wood
先生，
sculptor, the artist, Mr. Jian,
马来西亚纳都
from Malaysia, the
雷锋义先
Datuk
生，
Kenneth
夫
Loy,
人纳丁
the
曾美
Datin
萍女士
Zhen
及
Mei
千
Qing
金
and their daughter
雷
Lei
倩小姐
Qian,
满 University Saint Classman 朱金水先生及夫人陈泽霞女士，华光功德会总会长及大圆满九次第
the president of the Worldwide Lotus Light Charity Society,
次第广论
as well as the producer for the Great Perfection Dharma Hierarchy Exposition and Dual Stages of Tankayana, Master
主
Lian
持
Yue,
人佩君师姐，
and the host, Dharma Sister Pei Jun,
道果圆觉经主持人
and the host to Lamdre and the Sutra of Perfect Enlightenment, Master Lian Hai,
联合上师
Master Lian He,
连家上师，
and Master Lian Jia,
中天电视台给你点上
the
心灯，
producer
节
for
目制作人
the Gini Dian Sang Xingten, Illuminating Your Heart program at the CTI-TV Taiwan, Dharma Sister
My
Rebecca
sister.
Xiaqi,
卢胜美女士
Miss Lu Sengmei, my sister,
，and sister 卢国英女士，and
Miss
husband
Lu Guoying and husband.
啊，大家午安，大家好，
Good afternoon,
大家
everyone.
午
How
安，
do
大
you
家
do?
好，你好，大家好，Selamat siang, selamat pagi.
Selamat siang. It's good afternoon, and not selamat pagi, which means good morning, but no. And selamat petang is Malay.
Sawadika, kamsamita.
These are all greetings in different languages.
Hola, amigo, te quiero mucho. And merci beaucoup. Merci. Đại家 新年快乐.
Happy New Year, everyone.
今天是2017年.
Today is 2017. No, 2018.
不是啦，不是讲农历的。
I'm talking about the Chinese lunar calendar.
2017年
Today is
最后一场法会.
The last ceremony in the Chinese lunar calendar 2017. The last ceremony of the year. And the next ceremony will be on the Chinese New Year Day. So, best wishes. Greetings. May you be wealthy, healthy, and all wishes fulfilled. Prosperous, prosperous, prosperous.
那么刚刚看到这个
Just now,
就虚空中有遍布的莲花.
I saw in the sky filled with lotuses.
我们在这一年的这个农历的年尾.
So at the end of this Chinese year, we hope that our ancestors and those who perished in the Hualien earthquake can ride the lotuses and be reborn into the pure Buddha lands.
好，过年我这个人呐，对花莲也是有感情。
I personally have feelings toward Hualien
我
city.
本来从小学一直到高中，都是在
From
高雄。
elementary school through high school, I was in Kaohsiung, and my father was in the electric power company at the Kaohsiung Management Center there, Chenzhuangbu. And my uncle was in the management center as the administrative manager in Hualien, in the Hualien branch. And they lived in Hualien, Meilun.
就在毗伦那的护理街
district, and there's a Huli street.
我姨父在花莲.
And because my uncle was in Hualien, he invited me to work at the Hualien electric power company there.
一次是大概16岁.
I went there twice, once when I was 16 or 17. During the school holidays, I would go to Hualien. And I left from the public transport in Kaohsiung. And I was on the southern line of the bus to Taitung. And then I got on the train. At that time, the train was rather small. 5 or 7 name of the train go to Hualien, all the way to Hualien. And when I arrived in Hualien, that would be at night already. So my aunt and my cousins would come to meet me. And then I would stay at their place in Fuli Street in Meilun area of Hualien. The first time I worked, my first job was in the Hualien Power Company, and it was called a power meter quality test department. So when you plug in the electricity, the meter would run. And if they're all red, that means it's normal. If it's not all red, then that means the meter was wrong. And you have to take it down. So you have to note the turning of the meter. If they're all red, that means it's okay. But if it's not, then you have to take it down. And they have to fix it. And then you plug it in until all red. Then that's passed. That was my job. And the second time I went to Hualien, I also stayed at the Fuli Street. And my uncle took me to work at the repair company, also at the power company, to repair the transformer and also to paint them. So for 2 years during the school holidays, I was in Hualien. So I had some feelings toward Hualien. One time, when I was in the power meter quality test department, I was observing the speed of the power meter. So all of a sudden, someone knocked on the door. And I opened the door, and it turned out the secretary of my uncle. And my uncle was called Si-In-Qing. Si like giving, In like hero, Qing like pure or clean. So he asked his secretary to bring watermelon for me because it was hot. And the secretary was very young and wearing aqua or watercolor, light blue. And the secretary has a very rare family name. It's Guan, the same as the dean of the University of Taiwan. Guan Ting. And she brought a huge watermelon, so I said, oh, let's eat them together. Let's eat it together. So we ate the watermelon together. We cut it and we ate it. And then I made a date with her. Do you have time on Sunday? And she said yes. She was very close to Angor, and she was called Hui Ting.
那个时候我就约他们两个一起去花莲玩，骑脚踏车。
So I asked them both of them to go ride bicycles in Hualien. I had the bicycle then, or motorcycle. My uncle rode the motorcycle.
那个时候啊，他就骑脚踏车，我也骑
So she rode her bicycle and I rode my bike.
怎么没有来？
And I asked, how about Angor? She didn't come. She doesn't come. And she replied, it's enough just to have her. So we rode our bikes to a place.
我记得那个时候他跟我讲，
I remember
说这叫什么地方？
she
有这个
told me. I asked her, there was a waterfall, there's some water flow. What is this place called?
那么有石头。
And also a huge area of woods and rocks around the waterfall.
我说这叫什么地方？
What is this place
他跟我讲
called?
一个台语，叫做追墙。
And she replied in Taiwanese, 追墙. I don't know what it
中山路
means.
啊，花莲电力公司在中山路，一直往北
The
方
power
走。
company was at the
到了追墙的
Zhongshan
地方。
Road, and we go all the
可能
way
是石壁步
to
道，
the area called
附近。
Zhuiqiang.
就
Maybe
标
it's
普的
close to the
标志
Sibi
金母石壁步堂的附近。
Putang, which is the
那我
temple
高
of
中我
Golden
也不
Mother
认
in Hualien.
也不认识瑶池金母。
But in
那我
high
就在
school,
那
I
里
did not know
找一
Golden
块
Mother.
干净的石头，两
So
个人就坐下来
I
聊天。
found a rock, a clean rock, and we
Wow.
sat and
我们
chatted.
感情好得很。
So we were in very good
然后
terms.
到这个花岗中学，花
And
岗
then we
山
went to
那里有个法
Huakang
宜伦啊，有个花
High
岗山
School.
到花岗中学，
There was a
晚上去
Huakang
那里
mountain
约会。
there,
晚上
and
没
we
有
went
人，
there for dates at night.
花岗中学很
Nobody
安
else
静，
was
去花岗
around.
中学约会，花岗中学啦，
The
电表
Huakang
检
High
验站啊，
School,
追
the
墙，
electric
还
power,
有花莲附近的名胜美伦海边
QA,
都去过。
and the beaches at Mei Lun.
关惠丁，我讲台语。
Her name is called Guan
这
Hui
是我
Ting
在
in
高
Taiwanese.
中的时候的女朋友。
So she was my girlfriend in high school.
这个比较少人知道。
Not many people knew.
后来我父亲知道了，
And then my
我姨父也
dad
知道。
found out, and my uncle found out.
我父亲就写信给我姨父，
So my
So,
dad wrote a
你说
letter
没
to
有
my
把这个
uncle.
这个你的这个那时候叫做孙吧，我是属于我阿姨就叫我这个弯孙呐。
My aunt would call me
说你怎么没有
nephew.
把那个管好，把卢生
My
燕管
dad
好，
said, "How
什
come
么
you
到处
don't
乱交女朋友？
watch Sheng-Yen Lu and she's
管会弟弟给我
dating
写了一封
girls
我们
ago."
我虽然回到高雄，但是都
So
有
I
书信
went
来
back to Kaohsiung, but we were still
最后一次
corresponding.
他写一封信给我，
And
他说
she
你如
wrote
果
the last letter.
在几月几号之前，
If
你不来花莲，
before this date
我就要
you
嫁人。
don't come to Hualien, then I would marry somebody else.
他要嫁人，
She wanted to marry
然后
someone.
我准备脱跑。
I was going to run away,
看，
but my dad
我如
found
果
out
不
about
去
the
的话，他就
letter.
要嫁人。那
If
怎么
I
办
didn't
啊？
go, she would get married.
凉拌，因为我身上没
So
有
what
钱，
should I do? Nothing, because I had no
我
money.
不能去。
I could not
但是
go.
如果你们看《淡烟集
But if you read my》，
如果
book,
你们看《淡
Dan
烟集
Yan Ji, which
我的
is
第一
the
本
collection
诗集
of
里面有一篇文章
light
给
smokes,
写的一首诗，
there was an
后面我写
article
的
with the
给
poem,
花莲惠丁，
and I wrote that
给
it's
花莲
for
惠
Hui
丁，那就
Ting
是
of
纪
Hualien.
念那一位
That was a memory for my short-lived girlfriend. It's not that the girlfriend is short-lived, but our dating was very short. So that was a period of my feelings in Hualien. I live in Meilun, and this time Meilun cracked open in the earthquake, and we pray to Amugapasa Kuan Yin to take care of those in Hualien, and those who perished can be reborn in the Pure Lands, and those who survived the disaster will gain happiness. There were so many lotus blossoms, and we hope that the ancestors of our fellow disciples can be reborn into the Pure Lands. We pray to the Amogapasa Kuan Yin by your Dharma power for non-empty returns or infallible grants of requests. We pray that they would be reborn in the Pure Lands. And we have some announcements. Tonight, 7 p.m., we would have the lighting of the lights for the Lantern festivals. So, Living Buddha Lien Sheng and the abbot of the Taiwan Lei Tsang Temple and all the masters and referents will have the 8-minute merit dedication for those who suffer from Hualien earthquake. And I would consecrate the Mahotara Mandala and the consecration and the lighting. And I will arrive at 7:40. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. And we hope that all of our fellow disciples will participate. And we have 5 buses that would provide free rides from 5 to 9 p.m. 5 to 9 p.m. So it's better for you not to drive your own cars because it's difficult to park. And there would be a direct webcast for the programs today. And the MC for the Lantern Festival was the Nantou County. Oh, the address, Nantou City. Oh, what is it? Dong. Number 26, Lantern Festival.
3月4日，在皇帝雷藏寺。
And on March 4th, Sunday, there would be the Golden Face, Golden Mother Dharma transmission and grand ceremony at the Yellow Emperor Temple in Taoyuan.
当天报名状元的主体，还有勤华主
and those who registered for the VIP supplicants,
送给大家什么东西呀？
and those who
这里写着送给大家师尊。
the dinner banquets, they would give 师尊 to everybody.
师尊特别加持的仙桃。
Oh, the longevity peach that's especially blessed by Grandmaster.
师尊有加持，请大家踊跃报名主起，及请留下来参加晚宴，共享美食。
Please register for the primary supplicant and also stay
好的
for the dinner that evening.
3月4号。
That's on March 4th, Sunday. So for me to announce these ads, I have to get some fees for it.
那我们今天呢，这个是做这个不空坚守观音
So today
的护摩。
we perform the Homa of Amugapasa Guanyin.
这一尊很特殊，他的这个
This deity is very special.
他的上方
Amugapasa Guanyin.
不空成就如来。
Above her is Amuga Siddhi Tathagata. That's her origin.
身是白色，
Her body is
3
white
面有3个面，
with 3
4个手
faces, 4
每
arms,
面有3个目，
and each face has 3 eyes. The right hand is holding the mala chanting
左手
and the purifying vase, and the left hands, one is holding the lotus and the next one is holding lasso.
是有降伏用，
And the lasso is for subjugation and bardo
是
deliverance.
清净用，
The lotus is for
净
purifying,
瓶是甘
and
露
the
瓶，
purifying vase or the nectar vase is also for
有2个
purifying.
念珠，
And she's also holding a mala chanting beads.
非常的庄严，
And
而且
she's
非常的
very
殊胜。
magnificent,
它本身
very
是
supreme.
7观音之一，
And she's one of the
7大
7
观音之一
Guanyin.
观音是
in the
观世音
Guanyin
菩萨的
court.
一个化身，
She's an
在
emanation of
开
Guanyin
场这曼陀
Bodhisattva.
罗中，是一个非常伟大的一尊
And
观
in
音，
Garbhadhatu Mandala,
它
she's
拥有跟
truly
准提
remarkable
佛母
Guanyin.
一样的法力，
And she has the
那么它
same
的金
Dharma
刚号
power
就
as
是
Mahachundi
等
Buddha
眼
Mother.
金刚，
And
等眼金刚。
her
什么
Vajra
叫等
name
眼
is
金刚
the
呢？
equal
就是
deliverance
平
Vajra,
等接
which
引，
means
平
she
等接引的
delivers
金刚，平
equally.
等接引的金刚。
The Vajra who delivers
我
equally.
讲过，因为有不空之名，报名主题的
So
都不
because
会
her
空
name
手而
is
回，
non-empty,
都有
those who
回应，
registered
都有感应的。
for the primary
想感应了，
supplicants would return
啊，佛陀
without
讲过这个
empty-handed.
生活中是中奖中，
So they would
中
receive
的奖特
responses.
别多。
So I often
那你
say
们
that
今天
Tribhuda
看世尊
school
呢，这个
is
身上
the
这
winning
个是
winning
有一
school
个很大的一个
because
金
so
环，
many
是
people
观世
win
音菩
lottery
萨，
prizes.
观世音菩
And
萨
look
的
at
像，
Grandmaster today,
全
there's
是
this
黄金打造，
solid
整块都是黄
gold
金打造，
Guanyin
还有黄
Bodhisattva
金的念珠。
and also gold
很奇怪啊，
chanting
世尊什
beads.
么时候全身佩戴黄金呢？
That's interesting. When did
这个
Grandmaster start
要跟
wearing
大家
all
讲，
gold? I need to
这
tell
是
you
要
now.
带给同门看的。
I wear this for the
带给
disciples
同
to
门看，为
see.
什么要戴呢？
Why do I
因
need
为
to
这个是
wear them?
中了头奖的人
Because they were offered
给师尊
or
打
given to
造的。
Grandmaster by the ones who won lottery prizes. The first
师
prize.
尊不会到这个金殿里面说：“哎，我
Grandmaster
要一个
never
黄金念
goes
珠，
to
我要一个
the
这个观世音菩
the
萨的
gold
这
shop
个金牌的这个珠子，
and
我
I
要挂
want
在身
a
上。”
gold
不会，
Guanyin Bodhisattva
一定是弟
medal.
子送的。
All that
弟
Grandmaster
子为什么
wears
要送呢？
is
因为他
given,
中了头
offered
奖。
by disciples. And why did they want to give that to Grandmaster? Because they won first prize.
希望每一个人都中奖。
I hope everyone would win first prizes.
我们生活中非常灵验的，中奖的特别多。
Tribhuda
数
school
数不清的啦，现
is
在
very
没办法数，
responsive. There are so many
已经
uncountable people
没办法数
winning
这个
prizes and
到底谁
lotteries.
中奖谁中奖，反正中奖的人都不送。
because people who won lottery prizes didn't say anything. But according to what we know, there are already so many of them. Some people is like this. In order to thank Grandmaster, they filled a bag with money and then threw it on my desk. And then he turned around and left. Didn't let me to even see it. And there's some who wired to the Taiwan Lei Tsang temple and 3 million NT dollars. And he didn't let anybody knew who he was. And then there was some that was announced on the news, and then we knew. We got to know it from the news on TV. And no wonder he doesn't show up anymore. But we welcome you to come. Don't worry. We will never ask any money from you or gold necklaces. No, we never ask anything from you. Everything is voluntary. If you win lottery prizes, you don't need to say anything. One day I was giving blessings on the heads, and someone said, I want to say something. So I listened carefully, and he said, I won the lottery. I said, congratulations. Don't say, don't tell people, just give it to me. There's so many people winning lottery prizes. Really. The first prize, when I was signing the books, someone gave like 2 huge bags. Even as primary supplicant, you don't have to give so much money. And what are you doing here, putting these 2 bags? He didn't say anything, but later he said that he also won the first prize. And someone from Brunei also won the first prize, and he made it known, made it public. A Brunei person won the lottery in Singapore, and he made offering to Grandmaster. And then that was found out by a master. And then he said that all the prizes that he won was almost gone. 200 million NT dollars from Brunei. Many who won lottery prizes, uncountable. I hope that you win prizes, and no need to make it public. Just tell Grandmaster secretly. This Amoghapasa Kuan Yin, so her lasso can also bind money and can also bind people. So this Kuan Yin is very important. And the key is on the non-empty, on infallible. And the mudra, you first join your palms, and then the 2 index fingers on top of each other. There are 3 kinds of mudras. You can check online. And the mantra.
Amaka Piseya Ban Hong Ban Cha Hong Ban Cha Amaka Piseya Hong Ban Cha Hong Ban Cha， 这个声音呢，必须要简短有力，这样子中奖比较容易。
So the mantra chanting has to have strength and powerful. Then it will be easier for you to win the lottery prizes. And by holding the mala chanting beads, one can be bardu delivered. And holding the lotus, it can be purify and subjugate. And the nectar vase, the nectar can purify, and the karma can be eradicated. Anyone in the lower realms can also have the karma eradicated. And then whatever you wish for can be bound by the lasso. So that's why all your wishes can be fulfilled. So 3 faces, 4 arms, and each face has 3 eyes, holding the chanting bead, the nectar vase, lotus, and lasso. This is truly remarkable. And with the mantra, mudra, and the image, then we can perform the deity yoga or do her practice. Oh, you don't put the Lamdre for today? Oh, it's here. It's okay. Let's talk about Lamdre. The innate realization of emptiness. All the realm of affinity of the third eye is completely abandoned, and it rises to the spiritual experience of the rising of clarity and lucidity that is empty. This is called the existential dharma of controlling lucidity of the emptiness, etc. And it is the same as the earlier one. The innate realization of dual execution. When the mind dwells on the third eye, the practice realm doesn't come, and the yogic experience of emptiness also doesn't go away. The spiritual experience includes smoke, sun rays, tatakatas, etc. appearing in front of one's eyes. This is referred as dual execution. It is not established based on outer circumstances. It is also not achieved through willful desire to concentrate. Even when it is not real, the yogic experience arising from it is also not illusory. That's why it is called not real and not unreal. Due to the dual execution of the conditioned realm and all affinity comes this consciousness. It is called the innate realization of dual execution. The existential dharma and dharma nature to the lucid understanding and managing of the smoke, etc. were established as described above. One is called the innate realization of emptiness. My guru taught me to visualize a round moon, like the moon at the full moon festival, very round. And then you enlarge it gradually until it becomes infinite. And you yourself visualize that everything, the moon becomes the whole space, the whole sky. And the person is in the sky, in the space. Although you have the third eye, but you don't use your third eye to see anything. You just observe or be mindful of the whole space or sky, and you're often inside the sky or the space. And that's called the innate realization of emptiness. Arises to the spiritual experiences of the rising clarity and lucidity. Your whole body disappears and you merges with the whole empty space. So that's the existential dharma of controlling lucidity of the emptiness is called the innate realization of emptiness. And then the innate realization of dual execution. You use your third eye. At the beginning, like now, you sit inside the Taiwan temple on this Dharma throne. You can use your third eye to see. And there's a wall fence that you could not see beyond. But if you use your third eye, you can see through the walls to the outside, and you see the cemetery. And then you see further, you can see the Caotun town. And to the left, you would see Nantou, you see Zhongxin Qingcun, and Nantou and Puli. And if you look to the right, you would be able to see Wufeng. And then you see further to Dali, and further to Taichung. And you can see I can see my own home. And backward, you can see the central mountains to the north, to Taoyuan, to Taipei, and to the east to Hualien and Taitung, Yilin. You can see all of them. If you see even further, you can see to the other countries. Are they real? Yes, they are real. Are they fake or unreal? Yes, they are also illusory. So, what do you mean? In essence, it's the dual execution, the seeing. You can use your third eye to see, like the elder Venerable Sheng-Yen inside his meditation room, meditating, and all of a sudden, his eyes could see outside the walls. His garden, at midnight, he was meditating, and all of a sudden, there was like a chanting monk, and went to his garden and urinated at the vegetable and flower gardens. And the elder Venerable Sheng-Yen saw that. So he could see through the wall. And he saw his own disciple urinating in the yard, in the garden. And then the disciple went back in. So the elder Venerable Sheng-Yen asked this disciple, last night, did you come out because you felt that the bathroom was too far, so you urinated in the garden? And that disciple admitted, yes. So the elder Venerable Sheng-Yen could see. And as sadhaka, spiritual cultivators, we could also practice until we can do that. You observe using your third eye. You open your third eye and you want to see a certain person, and immediately you can go to his or her place and see what he or she is doing. Is it real? Yes. Is it illusory? Yes, it is too. Because in reality, there is no such thing. So it's written here. It is real and it is not real. So the yogic experience is also not real and not unreal. So it is called the dual execution of the conditioned realm. So it's not real and it's not unreal. So, and the affinity comes, this consciousness. So your consciousness see through your third eye. Your consciousness sees through the third eye. That's all we can explain. So your consciousness is your mind or heart connected to your third eye. When you open your third eye, whether it's far or close, nearby or very far or infinite distance, you can see them all with your third eye. How do you practice it? Let me tell you. Meditation. And how do you practice meditation? Let me tell you, from breathing. So you practice meditation with your breathing. As meditation practitioners or Zen practitioners often say that the eyes observe the nose and the nose observes the heart. But don't you become cross-eyed doing that? No. So the third eye at the brow point, the true eye is the third eye at the brow point. Why do you use breathing? Breathing is to control you. Ninth cycle Buddha breathing is teaching you to focus in through the right nostril, out through the left nostril, in through the left nostril, out through the right nostrils, in through both, out through both. That's the first three sections. And then in through left, out through right, in through right, out through left. And then in through both, out through both. And lastly, in through both, out through both nostrils, and in through right, out through left, and that's a total of 9 cycles Buddha breathing. And your mind is on the nostrils, left and right, and you breathe, and you can control it back and forth, and you repeat it, and gradually you would be focused, you would be in concentration, left, right, right, left, both, and then the white qi in and the black qi out. And through training, you would reach concentration or focus. Once you're focused, then you don't have running thoughts because you have been in control of your thoughts. By performing 9 cycle Buddha breathing, you're controlling your running thoughts and your 2 nostrils. And the Buddha breathing, then you become focused in concentration. If you practice it frequently, then you become the yogi of concentration, or yogini of concentration. And please don't touch all the mundane materials. Then your desire would decrease, your running thoughts will decrease. Please don't have desire toward all those materials or beauties. We have a joke. On the street, I saw a beauty and I started chatting. I like you. And the lady replied, crazy. And whom do you like? Crazy. All of a sudden, I felt really happy because the beautiful lady likes the crazy man. Don't be disillusioned by the beauties. If you visualize Amoghapasa, oh no, becomes my girlfriend that appears. You can't think of the Amoghapasa, but instead it's your girlfriend's face that's appearing. Or you love money. And Grandmaster also likes money. Everybody likes money. But it's like this. If it's supposed to be yours, then sure, you can take it. But if it's not supposed to be yours, then you should not take it. That's it. This way, you can avoid the temptation of money and also status and power. It can knock people down, lots of people down. As long as you have enough confidence, you don't need your status and position, because spiritual cultivation is your personal matter. It's not related to your status and positions. It's not that you would have attainments because you have better positions or status. As long as you master concentration, and then you abandon all the mundane, materialistic world, you discard them all, then you can concentrate and you can increase your spiritual world, spiritual self, until eventually one day you would gain yogic union with your yidam, because you often practice concentration, and because you are in concentration, you can control your breathing really well. You can control your organs inside the body, because you practice taking in the white qi and to exhale or to excrete the black qi. And once you're pure, then yidam can enter into you, and then you gain yogic union or spiritual response with the yidam. And once you're in yogic union with the yidam, then the consciousness of the universe can merge with you, and you can merge into the consciousness of the universe, and you can transcend life and death. And then there's basically no life and no death, and you're not restricted by life and death. And when you're in union with the utmost universe of consciousness, which is infinite, then you would be able to exhibit that infinite power. How do you do it? From the basics, 9th cycle Buddha breathing. I've said it over and over. And the Vajra chanting, which means you're merging with the 6 syllables, the mantras. Om, the appearance of the Om, Ah, Hum. And continually Om, Ah, Hum, circulating inside the heart chakra. And Om, you breathe in the Om and then exhale and breathe in the Ah and breathe it out. And when you breathe in, the wheel continues revolving, and the 6 syllables on the wheel continually turning. And with the Om Ahom, you purify your body. That's Vajra chanting. Visualize the 6 syllables emitting light, revolving continually. And Treasury's energy yoga, you breathe in, and then you keep it at the lower dantian. Lift up your anus, and then you push using the upper chi. And then you use the lower chi to lift, and then you hold it, and then circulate it. And lastly, when you can't hold your breath anymore, before you disperse it, you let the chi hit the top of the crown, and you can only do it once a month. And then you transport it into all the channels and all the capillaries and disperse it through the skin, and then you exhale it. So when you do this, you're actually enhancing or improving your spiritual realm. And when you do that, your mind would be pure, your body would be pure, and by chanting the mantra, you're purifying the speech. So you have pure body, speech, and mind. So if you do it every day, by doing it every day, you are a yogi or yogini, and that's a yoga. 9 cycle Buddha breathing, Vajra chanting, Treasury's energy yoga. If you practice them well, then your spirit self will improve, will increase. and then eventually you would be able to enter into the consciousness of the universe, and the consciousness of the universe can enter into you or merge with you. Then your power will appear, and you can appear, say, at a certain country, because then you would be present everywhere. You're omnipresent, because the consciousness of the universe is everywhere, so you are also everywhere. You're omnipresent. So Kongming rode on a donkey entering into a city, and Tsang he asked, "Have you eaten?" And Kongming replied, "Yes, thank you. I have taken my meals." And Zhou replied, "Hey, I was asking your donkey, why did you reply?" And then Kongming slapped the face of the donkey and said, "Why didn't you tell me that you have a relative here?" So they were competing who would be smarter, and of course Kongming was smarter. So Yi was trying to insult him, but Kongming was smarter. But this kind of cleverness belongs to the world, to the worldly realm. The true intelligent one would understand that material and spiritual are in balance. So you can put importance on both. So you can be in meditative state and everywhere. Like Sakyamuni Buddha said that he is always in meditative state. And doesn't matter what you do, you're always very focused. And this way your body too will become healthy. You use breathing to control your internal organs. You use breathing to make the qi to reach the finest cells. You use your qi or breath to communicate with the yidam in the universe. And you use your qi, you can exhibit the Dharma power of the Supreme Consciousness. This is real. This is true. As a guru, you have to be this way. A pilot was in the military training, and nobody dared to jump off the plane. And the instructor just kick the new soldier, and then they one by one they all jump off. Why didn't you want to jump off earlier? But once I kick one, all the other ones jump off the plane too. And then they said, "But instructor, you have to jump right away because the one that you kick off the plane was the pilot." So in spiritual cultivation, there's no courage or no courage or cowardry. Just follow Grandmaster's instructions. Every day you meditate twice. How many times do you have to perform the 9th cycle Buddha breathing? Just once? No. You have to do 12 cycles of 9th cycle Buddha breathing. And you have to do it twice a day. Each time 12 sets. And the same with Vajra chanting, twice a day. The qi is coming out. also 12 sets.
Today,
the temperature dropped. We have a cold front, and the forecast said it would drop 11 degrees. Please be careful. So if you want to change your fur, or else hibernate. If you're still cold, then you can go to the corner, because at the corner is 90 degrees. Or you can lay in bed, because the bed is 180 degrees. And if you're still cold, then you can go around, that's 360 degrees. If you're still cold, then you can go to sleep, because in the dream, it's thousands of degrees. So if you want to cough, you can cough together. The car marry the train, and then they get divorced. Why? Because every day I'm so afraid to be hit by the train. But then why? Because I'm afraid that the train would get off the tracks. But in our spiritual cultivation, please don't be afraid of anything. Everything is fine, and no fear. Just remember, you have to be earnest and sincere in your practice, and you have to do it every single day. The fish that I have had for 6 months died. I felt sad. So, if I buried it on the ground, then I'm afraid that the cat would dig it out. I decided to cremate. So I prepared the charcoal, and it smells better and better. So finally, I buried it through eating. I ate. The wife told the husband, "Honey, this year I'm 30. For my birthday, what do you give me?" And the husband said, "I will give you a diamond when you're 31. And the wife said, "Oh, I'm so happy. Really? Thank you. You're really nice." And the husband replied, "However, but in my heart, you're always 18. So in our practice, it takes a long time. You have to persevere over a long period of time. So your resolution is not just at the beginning, but it has to last for a long time in order to have any success or attainments. My throat recently, I've been coughing for over 10 days. I've been coughing for over 10 days because I have to cough until those who perished in the Hualien earthquake all but delivered before I stop coughing. I would cough one day for one person. And I have coughed for over 10 days, for about half a month. And then it will be cured eventually, because those who died in Hualien was about that many. Okay, let me share the last joke. There was asked Golden Mother, why are you look unhappy? Because recently the Jade Emperor always looked down upon the world, the human world. And I found out that he was looking at beautiful ladies. And the Taipei Sheng-Yen said, not just the Jade Emperor, but so many sages too. So now it's popular with low cut and bare waist. And then Golden Mother became angry and said, just decrease the temperature, lower down the temperature for half a month, and then blow the cold wind, and so that all these fox spirits would freeze. So they follow Golden Mother's. So tomorrow the temperature will come down, so please make sure that you're warm enough. Thank you, everybody, for attending the ceremony today. And please remember what I just said. It's very important. 9 cycle Buddha breathing, Vajra chanting, treasure-based energy yoga. Rely on the breathing. We rely on the breathing. Soft, slow, and long. Breathing can enhance or increase your spiritual self, and it also takes care of your body and your spirit. And both are important. Especially your spiritual state can be the same as the yidam, and then you would have the third eye, you would be able to observe. And in the future you would know that anything materialistic is very short-lived, and only the spiritual thing is infinite and eternal. The material matter is very short-lived. The spiritual matter is eternal and infinite. Once you master the spiritual cultivation of Tantrayana, in the future you would be in union with the ultimate consciousness, then you would know that life and death are also illusory. That anything material is just illusory. And all the name and status and position is just illusory. What's most important is has your spiritual matter increase, improve. And then you can be with your ultimate consciousness and be everlasting.